Welcome. This is the Post-Secondary Transition Podcast. We have conversations around that process, including the ins and the outs for families of students with disabilities. I am one of the co-hosts. My name is Patrick Cadigan. I am a public school transition coordinator. And as always, I have a co-host. And who would that be?
My name is Meghan Smallwood, and I am also a transition coordinator. And I think this is a conversation that we have been excited for and waited for a long time, but life gets in the way. So I am so happy that we are sitting down with Donna and Bayo from The Difference. Is it 2-17 or 217 or just The Difference?
It is 2-17. But, a lot of people say it in different ways. We accept all.
And I know the story behind that, but I want you to share. But welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here. We've waited to do this quite some time. So thank you.
But I think it was good that we waited because I know you've got lots of updates to share. Can we just start with like a little background about how you all began? Because I know you didn't start with self-direction.
No, we didn't start with self-directions. We started with a relationship between Alex, my son, and Bayo, probably about 15 years ago, when Bayo was working at a different facility and Alex was a member of that facility, and they had a really tight bond. So when I decided to change Alex from a traditional program to self-directed program, Bayo continued working with Alexander. And from there, we purchased a home. Both Alexander and Bayo lived together, still do. And, a friendship was formed. And from there, we decided to take it a step further and look at how we could improve people's lives that are currently in self-directed services by starting our own experience for people.
I kind of know a little bit of the background. It wasn't just you. There was other parents who had that vision as well, right?
Since we started, the vision was all about Alex at the beginning, because we know there's so much out there that he can do. We know all his potentials, and we know one of the things that have caused them to not be able to live to those potentials are, the way the traditional system was set up, not putting the member first. So when we went self-directed, we realized, okay, now Alex can do more, right? The opportunity is endless. We can open the doors. And as we see that progress with Alex and see him thrive tremendously, of course, the struggle of autism is still there, but we see progress in so many areas about his engagement in activities, his willingness to go out and explore new stuff, like going on an helicopter ride, for instance. He wouldn't have done that in his old system. So after that, we look like we have parents meeting with other parents, and they share their concern, and they're so excited to see Alex, thrive, because some of these parents have been part of his life somewhere there. So their goal was like, okay, how do we benefit from this? And Ms. Donna here has always been like, I want to do it bigger than just for my child. I want to leave a legacy. I want Alex to leave a legacy. And it's been the dreams since then. We've just been flying. Every parent we've been where we are. We got to where we are through the fight from the parents saying, we want to be on that journey with you guys. We want to experience what Alex is experiencing and the other members of The Difference. So it's been a beautiful ride.
I think we started off looking very differently at autism and neurodiversity in a way that doesn't preclude someone from activities, but quite the opposite, that we open that door and open the window to capabilities. So it's unraveling a person's likes, their dislikes, and not just showing them what they can do, but experiencing that with them. And through that process, they gain so much in the way of confidence and feeling good about themselves. So it's really a journey that we don't observe someone take. We take it with them. And I think that's why the difference is so different. It's like every child is our child. Yeah. And as they experience life or the complications that life can give them, we help them through those complications in a way that is very connected. So we're extremely connected to every single member that's with us.
And I think you said it before, it's the friendship like Bayo and Alex had. And I like just from the one time I was over to your location in Mount Airy, you can see that with all the people there. Like that was just so different, I think, from other places that I've been. And I mean, it's just extraordinary. And I loved seeing those relationships. And I know the parents just love that as well. And there's that fear, after 21 of like falling off the cliff and just falling through the cracks and not having those relationships that they had for so many years in the school system. And I feel like you guys are able to offer that. So it's definitely special.
And very quickly, as I'm sitting here thinking about this, if you could offer an explanation or a definition of what the difference is for our listeners who are unfamiliar with the program. Like if you had to walk into a room and give a pitch to what the difference is, what would you say?
It's an enrichment program. It's a skill enrichment program. It's a place with friendship, volunteer opportunity, a place you get to find your voice and have a place to use your skills, shine your skill and polish them. Use it as a teaching skills, learn from others. When members come into the difference, it's like a shock to them at first because they get to a place where I can say what I really feel. I can really have a struggle and I still get loved and nobody's fighting me back. So it's a place for everybody to be able to be themselves. And our goal every single day is to teach that independent skills, right? I always say to the staff, make me relevant in your life. We are going to give you every tool within our ability, time after time, to make sure we're not that important to you because you can cook yourself now. You could make your own bed. You could go to a job. Even if you need support, it doesn't mean the person is doing it for you. They're there with you to help you land the job and get promotions. So our job is to open that door. We always say there's no box. You create the box. People create the box. Our job is to open that door to unlimited opportunities. You have relationship. You build friendship. It's a lifetime. Parents are going to go away before the members go away, right? So our job is to create that community that stays as a bond that will always be there for that member for the rest of their life.
That's a great way to put it because I feel like so many times I'm talking to families about thinking of that circle of support for their loved one. And I know so many don't want to admit they're not going to be there for the rest of their lives, but it is a hard pill to swallow. So having that group of people that also, embrace them and are there for them is so important.
That's so important. We say the same thing, Meghan, all the time. And we talk to parents about the importance of when your son or daughter leaves high school or leaves the program with which they're in, that that the parents recognize that their job is to continue to forge growth so that adult becomes prepared to be as independent as is possible, whatever that independence means for each person. And when a parent says, I'm not ready to let go, I understand that as a parent, but at the same time, one has to try to put themselves in the place of that adult. One day that adult will have to navigate life by themselves. And it's not always fun for a parent to let go, but it is best for that adult to start, relinquishing a little bit of control.
And I like how you phrased, the level of independence that they can get, because I feel like every one of our friends we're talking about has some form of independence. And it's not black and white. There's lots of gray there, and it can be a small thing, but it's a monumental achievement. And I think we need to celebrate that.
I love that.
So I guess when you were coming up with the idea of, forming this program, were there any resources? Was there anyone else that you went to for advice or an idea of how to get started? I feel like there's so many parents out there that they have that vision and they want exactly customizing it, but they don't know where to go.
Yeah, I think I hear all the time parents that say, I wish I could do this.
Yep.
So I think that for us, we had actually talked about doing this for many years because we saw that there was a gap and a need for people to make their own decisions. But as far as actually doing it, you have to have some big girl and big boy panties, pull them up and say, I'm going to do it. And for me, I think I have always had the kind of character that goes with my gut feeling and takes a risk and just does it. We didn't have there wasn't anyone doing what we were doing. So we didn't really have anyone except for ourselves to bounce off how to do it. Bayo is extremely resourceful and creative with how to react and interact with people of all levels of abilities. So he has always been a great resource and a great inspiration to me personally.
And I would say that thank you, Mom, and I'm very grateful. It takes a lot to do it. I always say to people, we find pleasure in doing it, but it's not as easy as it looks. It takes someone of a magnitude to give up a whole career that's at the top, right? And that is what the struggle of most parents. That's why there's no roadmap, because people are not willing to do that. It's just, let's call it a spade, to give up a whole career and say, I'm going to follow a dream that has no driveway, no pathway. I just have to drive through the bush and create way. And by the way, we started this just right after COVID. We're still in the middle of COVID. That is another dagger to it, to say, no businesses are open. You really can't get anybody. You're not allowed to commute. You're not allowed to be in one place. But what we did is, it's a meeting space. It's not a staying space. We come in there, we get a plan for the day. Everybody get to pick the a la carte menu and they get to go. So we're really not using the space as a meeting space, but a space to meet and get out in the community. So there is nothing out there at that point that give us a clear understanding, but we know what we want. And we really say, we're going to do it even if it's only Alex. We're going to do it every day.
And we said if we could survive in COVID,
Yeah.
during COVID, after we got through COVID, I think that we would be very, very much more organized, because we really didn't know very much of what we were doing. We knew that we wanted to offer people skills to build on. But I think you said a very important thing, Meghan, which is building community. So our goal from the very beginning was so that when parents are not able to be around their children anymore for aging, because of aging, and we all become seniors, that our children, their children, would have a community feeling. So if they have a volunteer opportunity and they don't turn up to that volunteer opportunity that they've been going to week after week after week, that someone at that facility would say, well, where's Mary Jane? She's here every week, and go look for her and be concerned about her. So that still stands as today. We want to build, our goal is to build community around that person. And like Bayo said, we have probably 25 partners that give us jobs, volunteer opportunities and various things. And we build close relationships with them so that when that individual goes to that job and perhaps doesn't show up, they're able to call us and say, they didn't show up today, where are they? I think that's terribly important, to build community that really cares about that person. So that's why we did this.
Yeah, I love that their absence is noticed because they're an important member of the community. Kind of going into it then, you talked a little bit about your connections. Can you tell us a little bit about the program? Because I know you started with one and now you've got multiple sites.
I said, I was just trying to write the list of couple of partnerships that we've had in town within the 4 major cities that we're in now. I was like, I'm going to give, because we need to give them their flowers, because when we started, there is nothing as such as what we have in town of Montreal. It was like a little town with, COVID going on. They have a mayor election going on. Everything is quiet. And there is this little tiny company in a little office, like as big as you can imagine it. We come down the street, we're always greeting everybody, giving everybody positive energy. They come to our space to do coffees and teas on Wednesdays. I still remember those days where the current mayor just lost the election, so we used to come with them. And since then, we've had a relationship with Chinese Shell, Mummy Magic Cake, Das Smoothies Place, Ace Hardware, Blossom Flower, The Last Word, Mount Airy Common, Alpaca Farm, Erie Insurance, the Wagner Meat Market, the Mount Airy Bowling, the Kiwanis Club, the Mayor's the office, the Restock. I can go on and on and
That's
on.
just in Mount Airy.
Wow.
Just saying a little, right? And the beauty of what we started is when we first started, we used to actually go to those organizations and knock on the doors and try to get in. Now, organizations are walking in and say, I want to be part of this movement. I see you guys on Facebook. I want my company attached to this. And it speaks to the testament, not us, but our members. Because we always say, we're not coming to get a free job with you. We're coming to do our job. And we don't want to just be at the bottom of the barrel. We need the same opportunity to progress in your organization. Because I have autism doesn't mean I cannot do stuff. I just need to find a skill, an opportunity that matches with my strengths. So, and that's what we do. We don't just get our members' job. We don't just get them on volunteer opportunity. We listen to their voice. We listen to their team, their family. And we understand that if we do that the best way that we're good at, they tend to keep their job. Like, for instance, somebody that lost food and have a weight issue, we listen to the parent and we listen to the member and we encourage them. So one of the young ladies we have works at the flower shop. She's amazing at it. She even go on a day off and say, hey, I want to go say hi to my coworkers.
Oh.
It called them friends. So it is so important with what we do. We always understand, like, our reason for getting a job is different. We got bills to pay. Sometimes our members need different motivation.
Mm-hmm.
So that friendship, that relationship matter more to them sometimes than even the paycheck. Because they don't have a bill to pay, so they can't connect on the bill side. They can't connect on you have family problem or financial or medical. They go, I don't really deal with that. But if you build it on a relationship, these people that you're working with, a member was having a birthday party and we're all in Frederick last Friday. Amazing. The family brought their children over, their members over, and they were like, oh my goodness, this is what I want for my child on their birthday. This is not a school, but it's like almost like a work experience now, where you get to go to your friend's birthday party and hang out with your friend's family. So the difference is, it's beyond just a program. It's not even a program. It's pretty much like sometimes, people will come in and say, this feels like a college atmosphere. Or it was like, oh my goodness, this feels like, like a work environment, but everybody really loved themselves. We have a staff that used to be, in the police, in the military, he's worked so many jobs. It's over 40 something, I mean, 50s. He says, Bayo, for the first time on vacation, I couldn't wait to go back to work. Thank you for the opportunity. He says, I look forward to see the members and to come back. He said, before in my life, I used to go, oh my goodness, the vacation is almost over. But now it's like, I want to get back to work. I want to be back with those guys. And it's not just staff. We're all equal. There's no staff bathroom, members bathroom. There's no special call. It's all a bunch of guys and girls, ladies. It's just trying to be better and learn and given the opportunity to impact life. It's the best place to be in the world every single day. I'm telling you, I love what I do. We all do, and everybody in their jobs is all. And we single-handedly pick our staff. We don't just hire people just because they want a job. We want people that their heart belongs there. The one that doesn't take it for granted. They come in every single day, understand they have a role to play. They have a job to do, and it's to help each member become independent, feel loved, feel respected. I feel like they're on top of the world because they're not defined by DIS. They're defined by who they are.
Yeah,
I think that, and also we love it so much, Meghan. This man keeps his phone on all day and all night, 24/7. So the members actually text him
On FaceTime.
and FaceTime
In
in the middle of the night. So it could be 2:00 in the morning. If you call Bayo, he's picking up the phone to every member, every parent. So it's sort of 24/7 we're on, not because it's a job, but even
it's
if
a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. It's a cultural shift. And it's funny because I've through my son, which he's 36, in 1988, I saw the beginnings of autism and what was that, and nobody knew about it. And then growing up through a system that treated people sometimes not very fairly, sometimes not equally. And to go into a place like The Difference and actually change, to witness the change of culture in day programs, because we're bringing those each individual into the forefront and saying, this is what they can do, this is what they're capable of. We all use the same bathroom, we all eat off of the same plates, we don't eat different food to them. And I do believe it has had an impact on the culture of where we stand today with people with different abilities and disabilities. Just driving it.
This is where we'll pause our conversation with Donna and Bayo from The Difference. So please join us in 2 weeks' time as we continue this conversation. We would love the information from this and all our other discussions to reach as many families as possible, and we need your help to do that. So please like, follow, and share out our podcast. You can find our conversations on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, and that's just naming a few. So please share and share often. You can always find the links to the information from this discussion in our show notes.
Check out our YouTube channel. We've done some of the legwork for you by curating videos of topics that revolve around transition. We have playlists, we cover guardianship, alternatives to guardianship, able accounts, and there's still more to come as we are finding those videos that we think will be valuable to use. So please be sure to subscribe there as well. And then finally, check out our website, which is full of information and links to resources around the transition process. So make sure to go to www.postsecondarytransition.com. We thank you so much for the time you spent with us and look forward to talking again soon.